Speaking of workshops, I want to congratulate the winners of the monthly mini workshop that we just held. Everybody familiar with that? Um, Super cool. And I love all the activity in there. You guys are really kicking some ass in there, critiquing each other, supporting each other. Your emails are fantastic. So if you're not familiar with the monthly mini workshop, this is a new thing we started last month. It's taken off like a rocket. You guys love it. We love that you love it. And it's cool because you guys are, the members are supporting each other, critiquing each other. And so it's not so much about us, more experienced writers coming in and coaching. There's some of that. Jimmy Parent made a great video for Steve. I commented on Jimmy's video today because I thought Jimmy had a lot of great points. A couple things I didn't completely agree with and wanted to point out, which is, again, what writers do. It's all dialogue. I didn't think what he was saying was wrong. I just wanted to add in my 2 cents. So we have these like slow moving, compounding conversations about how we can all write better copy, right? That's what Copy Chief is all about. But I love how supportive all the members are being with each other. You guys are brilliant. And I think teaching is the fastest way to get better as a copywriter. Being willing to give a critique, really reading somebody's copy with a discerning eye and looking for things to compliment and things to critique and say, I wonder if you would have tried this, would that have been better? And when you receive that feedback, you start to develop your own filter for feedback, which is an important thing to do as a freelance copywriter, because you're always going to get notes from your client, from your partners, and you have to know when to accept that feedback and see that as a good idea, and when to push back and say, I see what you're saying, but I'm going to stick with what I've got. I think it's our best way to go. That's what we're going to test, because as you rise up the scale and move through the phases of the freelancer's journey timeline, the reason you'll get paid big money as you go is to make the hard decisions, right? Something John Carlton taught me years ago. You'll get paid the big bucks for making the hard calls. When your client looks at you and says, what should we do here? We've got a couple options. You've got to confidently look back and say, we're going with option one, because I'm really sure that that's the strongest, way to go right now. And then we'll test against that after we see how it does, right? They're looking to you to make that decision. And that comes with experience, and that comes with forming that filter, that feedback filter. So there's so much value in engaging in these workshops beyond just doing the writing, right? Learning to take a critique, learning to give a critique, building up that filter, super, super important, and something you only get to do here in Copy Chief. And we're thrilled to be able to host this with you. So let's get on to, there was a lot of underwear mishaps. So the workshop this week was about a 3-word writing prompt. And the 3-word writing prompt was, it was embarrassing, right? It was embarrassing. And so it was, and then so the way we did it was take it was embarrassing and write a 10-minute free flowing writing exercise. And I originally got this from Natalie Goldberg's book, Writing Down the Bones, where you do a 5-minute stream of consciousness. You're not allowed to stop moving the pencil on the page. And these days it would be, you're not allowed to stop typing on your keyboard. And you just set a time. We did it for 10 minutes and said, just write. It was embarrassing. And just, where does that lead you? Freestyle, no editing, no stopping, just write for 10 minutes. And then take what you've got there and use that as the basis of an email, a nurture email, which the difference is, just to, if you're not clear with that term, what we call nurture emailing, you have basically you have a selling email and you have a nurture email. And a selling email is clearly there to present an idea, tell a quick story, make the turn, as we call it, right? Segue into the offer and then have a strong CTA for somebody to go click a link, buy a product, whatever it is. This nurture email is simply just sharing, right? So you're just telling a story, you're sharing a lesson, and there's no big CTA at the end. You're not looking for them to take an action as much as you are just build up rapport and give value through what you share in that email. So this was a nurture email, and you guys did a great job from all the ones I saw of following that. No hardcore selling, just, hey, and if you need this or that, then consider this, and here's the lesson. And so because the prompt it was so embarrassing, there were a lot of, it was really interesting to see how different people take that and tell different stories. I noticed apparently not every woman, but a lot of women have a story about their their underwear being exposed in some way, or their skirt being tucked up into their pants in some strange way. And it's so kind that women will always tell each other when that's happening, right? A guy wouldn't do that necessarily. We're not as kind when we see somebody in an embarrassing scenario. Hopefully we would. I'd like to think I would, but so those were interesting to read. And guys were a little bit more like try and fail stories, right? Not to separate this by sex, but it was just really interesting. Rachel's story, Rachel Kraft, I really loved yours about, trying to win that race against your schoolmates and trying to take a shortcut and slipping in the mud. And I love the way you described how the mud, you don't remember the rest of the day except for the fact that you were cold and the mud was slowly drying and leaving a trail of of mud crumbs behind you, and you had to sit on plastic bag next to the teacher on the bus. Man, it's those kinds of details, right? Those are the things I remember about your stories. And so let's get to the winner. We have two winners. So the way we do this is, and we're all learning as we go here, because this is the second time we've done this now, right? We got to kind of, your like is your vote. So when you like somebody's email, that's going to help them win. Right. And so the prizes are, we're going to award you points for winning having the most liked email submission. And then a second prize is you're going the most, whoever had the most likes on their critiques, who was the most helpful, and everybody appreciated the critiques you were giving in the challenge. And so those points are going to add up over the year, and we're going to award different prizes. So think of like a Dave and Buster's kind of thing. We're working out all kinds of cool ideas. A certain amount of points will get you a one-on-one call with me, which I'm thrilled to do. We'll have t-shirts, we'll have mugs, we'll have other cool prizes that you'll win for accumulating points. And by the way, you don't only get points for winning. All your likes when you engage in the forums and all your posts add up to points as you go as well. And like soon, Laura's almost done with laying out the full structure of how the points build up and work. So you'll be seeing that soon. I want to just dive into that thread real quick. And oops, not that one. Here's the story rules. Okay, here we go. So just so you know, by the way, how you digging the new, we've moved some stuff around, and I want to remind you that the easiest way to find what's going on right now in Copy Chief, the things we're actively engaged with, is to go to what we're calling This Month in Copy Chief, with the caveat that it's not always exactly within a month. It might be a week, before and after, but essentially, here's we're focused on in Copy Chief right now. So if you click on This Month in Copy Chief, you can see that the monthly mini workshop is right there at the top. We also want to remind you that Copy Chief Live tickets are on sale for the lowest price you'll ever get as a member of $5.99. That's a huge savings. It's a $2,000 ticket ultimately. this is where you can sign up for Mike's training coming up. See updates about the new dashboard, and this will be moved off soon. This was our last training with Laura Belgray. And so this is sort of, everything that's the big events that have happened recently in Copy Chief. And so we go here to the nurture email, and this probably gives where I left off on the 4th page. So, so many great entries. But the winner this time is, we have 2 winners, of course. So I believe the one with the most, it was Brenna McGowan. Congratulations. You received the most likes for your story. And you are the winner of 50 points now, and pride and glory of winning the monthly mini challenge, monthly mini workshop. I can never get those words out. Maybe we have to change the name, because Kev can't say it. We had to change the name because Kev can't pronounce things with M's and W's in them. So congratulations, Brenna. Loved your email. This was, of course, about her skirt being trapped in her underwear. And I think she was the first out with a story of this nature. And it was really funny and really brought me into the moment. I love the way you describe, being like 8 months pregnant, having your 2 young kids. It's 110 degrees. Of course, you're even hotter because you're so pregnant, and it was really great. So congratulations on winning, Brenna. And the winner of the critiques, who got the most appreciation for all the great critiques they were getting, was also our first to submit, and thought your email was terrific as well, Steve. But congratulations, Steve Son is the winner of the critique award. So points to you as well, Steve, and thank you for being so supportive and helping everybody out with a lot of great critiques. Really enjoyed this email a lot too. And this is the one Jimmy posted about, and I had some notes on Jimmy's post. So you got a lot of feedback in here from us as well, Steve. So congratulations to the both of you and to everybody who took part in the workshop. It was really cool to do that with you. And I'm excited to see how you spend your points as we go.